Welcome to a superpowered academy full of bloodthirsty teenagers. Will our main powerless protagonist survive? Prologue. The story begins with a picture of a storybook written by the narrator's father. Our story kicks off with a picture-perfect storybook penned by none other than the narrator's dad. Inside its pages lies a tale of a superpowered hero, spreading prosperity and helping the world's less fortunate, until, tragically, his journey comes to an end. But let's shift gears to the school cafeteria, a kingdom ruled by the tantalizing aroma of that famous chocolate cake. John, our protagonist, is on a quest for a slice, taking his sweet time. Yet, when the last piece gets nabbed by Arlo right from under Remy's nose, things turn into a cake-fueled showdown. Powers clash, fists fly, and all the while our guy John stumbles upon the spectacle, cakeless and ironic. Zooming into class, we find John drowning in the sea of math boredom, daydreaming of an extraordinary life. As the teacher beckons for a math whiz, John's hand shoots up, not for math but for a bathroom escape. A clash of wit and permission ensues, amid flying chalk and Martin's antics. Venturing into the corridor, John's world takes an unexpected twist, a literal fall from grace as he encounters a Blake-sized surprise, courtesy of Eisen. The cause? A shattered pen. John's disbelief and sense of justice collide as he watches the pen paladins duel it out. The orange-haired Eisen and the red-haired Blake duke it out. Blake fires off red laser beams as his power, while Eisen uses his fists and a glowing orange aura. John quickly flees the scene as Blake charges up a move that looks suspiciously like one of Goku's. Stumbling upon a scene of bullying, our protagonist decides to step in, deciding it's time to intervene. John's no-power status takes a backseat to his sense of right and wrong. And just when you think it's over, a scene reminiscent of a classic schoolyard brawl emerges. John faces off against a bullying senior, armed with only his guts and martial arts prowess. A dance of fists and words unfolds, with John showing that power doesn't necessarily make you mighty. John blocks a fist and dodges another as he parries with a blow of his own. The bully is furious and begins to emit a purple aura as he glares at John. It seems like this boy's power is the power to turn to stone. With glowing purple eyes and an evil smile, he rushes at John and injures his arm. John notes that every blow from the bully is stone hard. Thinking of a new straitgy, John taunts the senior by calling him weak and leans by a window. The bully is infuriated and charges at John. The senior's flashy moves meet their match, and the showdown ends with a dramatic window exit. Victory tinged with a broken arm. But wait, the stage isn't empty yet. A mysterious girl perched on the rooftop signals a hint of intrigue, her phone's beep stealing the spotlight. Before we continue, take a moment to answer the question of the day. What is the best superpower to have in general? Comment down below for a chance to be shouted out. As if a broken arm wasn't enough excitement for John, off to the doctor's he goes, facing both a healing potion and a scolding for future recklessness. The doctor, a tired blue-haired man, is pretty much done with John at this point. John springs to his feet, determined to slip away, promising more caution next time. But just as he's about to make his escape, the doctor swoops in like a ninja, blocking his path. Apparently, John's arm needs a 3-hour timeout before it's healed. Classic hospital hijinks, right? Speaking of enigmatic rooftop encounters, that mysterious girl everyone's buzzing about? Yep, her name's Sierra, and she's the rooftop legend. And wouldn't you know it, she's the one who comes running when John sends out his distress signal. John, playing the "I'm bored because I'm stuck here" card, opens up to Sierra, and she rolls her eyes with a laugh. Like, dude, you're in a hospital. Of course, you're stuck. Sierra plays along, joking about skipping class, because that's what she does best. And John's all like, "Hey, wanna keep me company?" And boom, they're suddenly twinning on the bed, scrolling through their phones, trash-talking each other over a game. Score update. John 1, Sierra 10. But just as they're having this epic rivalry showdown, a wild boom echoes in the air. Hold the phone. What was that sound? John's inner detective awakens and the doctor goes all superhero, dashing for the door. Before he can escape, though, he gives John the stare of doom and orders him to stay put. But our boy John's got a secret weapon. Sarah, he's all like, "Don't worry, Doc. I've got the almighty Sarah here." And bam, the door slams shut. John's genius plan? Send Sarah out to investigate the mystery while he enjoys his hospital stay. She gives him a thumbs up and off she goes. And guess who else is lurking around? Stone Boy. He emerges from the shadows like a disgruntled ghost, vowing vengeance on John. Drama alert! So there they are, face to face. Stoneboy's fuming, reminding John of their epic throwdown. But John's all chill, saying they're even because, hey, arm breaking counts for something, right? And then it's on, fists flying, tension soaring. But here comes our gal Sarah, looking like an avenging goddess, full name Seraphina and all. Stoneboy's face turns pale as she gives him the stare of doom. Stoneboy tries to play it cool, saying he's not scared of Sarah, who apparently walks around all day doing nothing much. Big mistake. He lunges at Sarah as she gives him a lesson in humility, bonking him behind the head in a blink of an eye. Stoneboy's bleeding, bewildered and probably rethinking his life choices. It seems like Sarah's power allows her to be almost inhumanly fast. Sarah turns to John like, "Where to next?" And John's all casual, suggesting a drink. Sarah's down, but there's a catch. John's treating. He's like, phew, saved by the sip. And just like that, they're out of there, leaving the school and its chaos behind. Meanwhile, back at the infirmary, Doc's had enough of Blyke and Ison's wrestling match. He drags them in, lectures them, and Stoneboy crawls in, looking like he went through a blender. Doc realizes John's missing and goes full-on angry mode. Oh. Fast forward to Wabba Boba, where John and Sarah are sipping drinks and dishing on the epic showdown. Sarah teases John about the whole window-throwing thing, but John's quick to remind her it wasn't a comedy skit. It was survival. Sarah's all, "You're always on the edge," and John's like, "Nah, I just want some peace." But it's not that simple. The world's a battlefield, and John's caught in the middle. Then comes a news flash on the TV. Some legendary hero got taken out, Ember style, complete with their signature mark. And guess what? It's right around the corner from our heroes. John's all concerned, but Sarah's got her mind-your-own-business attitude. No capes required. Sarah shows no concerns and says that people should mind their own business and stop being heroes to save other people, especially if they cannot back themselves up. John mentions that the X Factor wanted to make people feel safe. Sarah asks him if he feels safer, especially when the X Factor is dead. 1 year ago, we dive into John's captivating tale of his grand entrance into the illustrious realm of Wellston Private High School. Picture this. A bright-eyed John struts into the school, ready to rock his new classmates' world with his infectious enthusiasm. Armed with the audacious hope of forging connections, he embarks on a mission to assemble a squad of super friends. But hold on a sec, rewind. Before we unravel the drama, let's rewind to the admissions. John's journey was an epic saga in itself, blood, sweat, and probably some dramatic theme music involved. He was basically a walking legend just to secure his spot in the Wellston Hall of Fame. Oh, how the tables turned. Our protagonist had this grand notion that Wellston was all about hitting the books and channeling his inner Einstein. Well, surprise, surprise, that bubble was about to get popped. In a twist of fate, just before a riveting math class. Yes, you heard that right, riveting math class. John's world takes a swivel as Elaine, a classmate who probably should have won an Oscar for her nice girl performance, strikes up a conversation. Now let's give a standing ovation to John's plot twist, the homeschooled prodigy card. Yep. He casually drops the "I've been tackling quantum physics in my PJs" bomb, leaving everyone agog. Elaine's jaw practically hits the floor as she goes from sunshine and rainbows to full-on storm cloud mode. Apparently, John's no-ability revelation was akin to announcing that unicorns were real. But wait, there's more. As the bell rings and the curtains close on class hours, we shift from school drama to an intense showdown outside the hallowed halls. Picture this. Bullies who think they're the kings of the playground decide it's prime time to flex their special abilities and hassle our boy John. Enter the stage-left hero. Or so we thought. Sarah, our mystery damsel from John's class, takes a starring role in this climactic moment. But alas, the script takes an unexpected twist as she stands there, as still as a statue, while John is beaten. In the present moment, as John lounges on his bed post-school, a burst of excitement rings through his phone. It's Sarah! With a casual, "Hello?" He picks up. Picture John, cozied up at home in the afternoon, when suddenly, a call from Sarah lures him into a shopping adventure at the local mall. Not one to easily give in, John pushes back, claiming his fortress cleaning duties and a desire for total homebound bliss. But deep down, Sarah knows he's nursing a school-induced wound. With a knowing grin, she drops some wisdom, nudging John to walk the high-tire walk. He counters, lamenting the complexities of life. Just as he sighs, a knock at the door startles him. And there stands Sarah, surprise painted across his face. He ushers her in, and together, they embark on an epic cleaning spree. Lo and behold, amid the tidying chaos, Sarah stumbles upon a mysterious book titled Unordinary. Swiftly, she convinces John to join her on a spontaneous mall adventure. Quick as a wink, they're off to Kavoro Mall, where Sarah loses herself in a fashion frenzy at Andy's boutique. As Sarah sorts through dresses, John amusingly fumbles with a shirt, misinterpreting lame for something profoundly French. With a playful pout, Sarah enlightens him, triggering a tri-room escapade that leads to a surprising compliment. Cue John's victorious grin, but life has a way of balancing out moments of triumph with a dash of humiliation. In a classic plot twist, John's newfound joy meets an unexpected obstacle, a collision with a stranger. His cheeks ablaze, he encounters an intriguing ability gauge, sparking an idea that even Sarah dismisses as a hoax, until John's persistence prevails. A woman Lavani is extremely mad about the ability gauge. The orange-haired man tries explaining that her power is average, but she isn't having any of it. She calls him a fraud and demands a refund. What a Karen! Her fierce attitude stirs the pot. As tension simmers, John boldly steps in, standing up to Lavani's fiery temper, reminding us that even the unassuming can pack a punch. Cue a breathtaking moment as Lavani teeters on the edge of unleashing her power, until the security guard swoops in, breaking the spell. John seizes the opportunity, ushering a mix of confusion and awe as he defies Lavani's expectations, ultimately diffusing the situation. Lavani bids farewell to the guard, and with a spring in his step, he ventures forth. The guard playfully cautions John and Sarah to steer clear of mischief. Yet, John can't help but feel the weight of injustice, branding it as cruelty. He extends an apology to the friendly stall owner for the commotion, but finds solace in the stall owner's admiration for his courage. Grinning, the stall owner proposes an enticing deal, a complimentary assessment of their abilities. Taking the lead, John nudges Sarah into the spotlight, urging her to showcase her prowess. A triumphant score of 8 sparks cheers from the stall's proprietor, who lauds her remarkable power. A fluffy bear, a token of appreciation, is bestowed upon her, alongside a nostalgic mention of the rarity of such might. The spotlight shifts to John, who, with a gracious decline, leaves his score untold. As they depart, the stall owner waves them off, a delighted smile playing upon his lips. Night descends as John and Sarah exit the lively Kavoro Mall. John muses that the day has sprinted by, only for Sarah to remind him it's due to his nocturnal habits. Gazing at the bustling bus stop, concern creases their brows. A novel idea takes root in John's mind. An alternate stop across the park. The park's ambience is transformed as lamplight guides their path. The traverse over the grass is momentarily disrupted when John senses an elusive presence, his imagination running wild. But a swivel reveals only Sarah's impish grin, her whimsical hope for mall warfare dashed by John's call for help. With a sigh, he concedes the lady's prediction was off-kilter, as power isn't always the ultimate currency. Sarah's antidote to his negativity is simple: focus on oneself and embrace the unbroken arm as a testament to victory. Banter takes an amusing turn when John attempts to christen her newfound teddy bear, his own name suggestion comically vetoed. Yet, an unspoken unease looms, propelling them into an impromptu sprint through the park, an invisible force dogging their heels. Seeking refuge in a narrow lane, John employs a peculiar strategy involving a shirt and gravity-defying suspense. A resolute kick from Sarah unveils their hidden pursuer, prompting a hasty escape. The bus ride leads them back to safety, arriving at their haven where a collective exhale relaxes their frames. Sarah's curiosity lingers on the shadowy apparition, inviting John's speculation. A mere scare tactic, perhaps. Leaning on his gut feeling, John dismisses the unsettling encounter and steers the conversation toward a heartier topic. Dinner, a culinary endeavor, commences, while Sarah lounges on the couch. It's then that her gaze alights upon a forbidden treasure, a banned book she'd once longed to read. John's oversight in leaving it exposed raises her intrigue. As he enters the room, Sarah's fascination bubbles over, inquiring about the book's origin. A A candid revelation unfolds. John's father, the enigmatic author, had secret copies. Sarah's yearning to devour the pages of this contentious work is palpable, kindling curiosity about the scandal it stirred. John's eyebrows shoot up in surprise as he's met with her unexpectedly caring thoughts. An intriguing twist enters the conversation when she brings up the tantalizing rumors swirling around the cursed book, tales of readers becoming delightfully delusional. John, ever the voice of reason, clarifies that these folks aren't simply seeing unicorns, but are actually catching the profound message the book is serving up. A recipe for world-balancing goodness. In a witty exchange, she playfully likens him to one of those vigilante types, and John, with a knowing glint in his eye, playfully retorts that the book might just be his secret mentor. Like a well-executed plot twist, he suggests she venture into the realm of this enigmatic book on her own terms. Of course, she jumps at the chance, accepting the offer. Hold on tight as the scene switches gears. A map flickers on screen, accompanied by a suspenseful beep. It's espionage time, folks. Our stalker seeks permission from an unseen authority to tag a target. Permission granted, and our cloak and dagger specialist carries out the covert operation. Meanwhile, back in the real world, Sarah's taking a snooze on the couch while John's on a first-name basis with the floor. But alas, sweet slumber gives way to a nightmare. Enter stage left. A mystery girl with green hair who takes center stage in John's dream drama. Abruptly, he awakens from his nocturnal theatrics. Sitting up, he finds himself smack dab in the middle of a Sherlock Holmes-esque thought spiral, pondering the puzzling significance of the green-haired apparition. And lo and behold, like a beacon of calm in the storm, Sarah dozes soundly nearby. Facing his newfound introspection head-on, John hits the bathroom, splashes his face with water like a leading man in a movie, and confronts his reflection in the mirror. Cue intense, yet introspective music. He dons his trusty hoodie, steals a last glance at Sarah in her peaceful slumber, and embarks on a journey to satisfy his snack cravings. Picture this: a convenience store oasis where our hero indulges in a snack attack. Amid bites, he slips into a reverie, his eyes sealing shut as he drifts back to the girl of his dreamy musings. Suddenly, he snaps out of it, bagging his snack like a culinary ninja, and dashes back home. Back at the ranch, or rather the house, the door locks in a decisive click as John re-enters his kingdom. Behold, the sound awakens the slumbering Sarah. A classic early riser quip from her sets the stage, but it's clear something's amiss. John's counterquip about sleep evasion prompts her to inquire about the haunting nightmare, though he deftly sidesteps the inquisition with an invitation to the culinary battleground. Breakfast. Yet even in the midst of muffled munching, Sarah's keen observation detects the oddity at hand, John's sudden vow of silence. Like a detective on the scent, she drills him with concerned inquiries, aiming to unveil the mysterious layers that shroud his behavior today. A taut pause later, he throws out the "I'm fine" card, triggering a shift in the room's atmosphere. With the mood notably shifted, Sarah, determined to unearth the truth, extends her hand of friendship, offering John a safe space to spill the tea on his tribulations. But the script takes an unexpected twist, as John's response borders on sassy, prompting Sarah's dramatic exit. She, with an air of poise, collects her metaphorical trench coat and dramatically departs stage left, leaving us in suspense. Outside, a palpable tension brews as Sarah consults her trusty sidekick, the ever-present smartphone. With a mixture of anxiety and intrigue, she races back to her haven, the Wellston dormitories. Enter Elaine, the inquisitive friend, launching a barrage of questions about Sarah's nocturnal whereabouts and the apparent radio silence on her end. Sarah, now a master of her emotions, reads between the lines of Elaine's queries. Cue the epic, deadly gaze, a visual crescendo of silent intensity that captures Sarah's simmering frustrations. She's frozen in fear, like a deer caught in headlights. Sarah's voice breaks the ice, reminding her of the countless times she warned against meddling in her affairs. With a sigh, she retreats to her bedroom and Elaine plops down on the floor. Just then, a call lights up Elaine's phone screen. It's Arlo, his voice curious about Sarah's whereabouts. In her room, Sarah rummages through her bag, only to be interrupted by a text from John, the master of subtlety. He urges caution with a mysterious book, hinting at trouble. The book's pages flutter under Sarah's touch, revealing the words, "Dedicated to my son." A knock jolts Sarah back to reality. The book finds a swift hiding spot as she answers the door, revealing Arlo on the other side. He's on a mission to talk, and Sarah's not having it. She attempts to shut him out, but Arlo's persistence prevails. He spills the beans about a turf war challenge and extends an unexpected offer. Sierra as their sub-queen. Her refusal is swift, but Arlo's not backing down. He paints a picture of responsibility and the school's honor, throwing in a dash of drama by explaining Remy's absence due to family woes. No need to fight the small fry, Arlo reassures her. They just need her to be present. Time jumps forward, and suddenly, Sarah, Arlo, Blyke, and Elaine are all aboard a train, journeying toward the battleground with equal parts excitement and nerves. The battlefield ignites as Blyke charges at Rain, but her agility, thanks to some surprising spider-like appendages, turns his efforts into an elegant dodge dance. She strikes back with those spindly legs, leaving him momentarily hapless. Yet Blyke bounces back, skillfully sidestepping her next assault and landing a solid hit. However, Rain's not done, sprouting 2 more legs and retaliating fiercely, injuring Blyke. Meanwhile, Sarah waits for Arlo's final call, but the dramatic pause drags on. Blyke muses over just how many legs Rain's got up her sleeve. Rain, intrigued by his grit, questions why his squad hasn't bailed him out. A feisty retort from Blyke sets the stage for the ultimate showdown, but then, a curveball. Sarah halts the chaos, admitting defeat. She commands Elaine to tend to Blyke and playfully taunts Arlo for the mess he's made while she was away for a mere semester. Ready to step in, she's met with a halt from Arlo himself, claiming he's got this. Cue the victory drums as Team Agwin erupts in celebration. But wait, Brovin adds a drop of wisdom to the jubilation, warning Rain not to soar too high. After all, Wellston's never been beaten for no reason. Rain brushes off the concern, oozing confidence. Now the spotlight shifts to the main event. Arlo, the kingpin of Wellston, versus Rain, Agwin's indomitable queen. The duel sparks with Rain lunging at Arlo, only for him to shield up like a champ. Annoyed, Rain flips and bounds above, hunting for a chink in Arlo's armor. Little does she know, his force field deflects her advances, leaving her bruised and bewildered. Arlo steps forward, Rain's attacks doing no damage to him at all. He grabs the girl by the neck as her teammates try to intervene. Sadly, Arlo's barrier is too strong, and they fall to the ground after crashing into the force field. Arlo continues squeezing as a tense stare-off occurs. Amidst the chaos, Sierra steps in, demanding Arlo back off. But can she boss him around after her hiatus? Arlo's retort ruffles Sierra's feathers, and she charges, shattering his shield with a single punch. Both bruised and battered, Arlo loses his grip on Rain's throat, and she crumples. Brovin dashes to her side, Arlo's scolding echoing in the background. Brovin claims their brawls turned into an embarrassment. Sierra saunters up and serves Arlo with a choice: tuck tail and exit, or brace for a showdown. The gauntlet's thrown, the battle's not yet buried. Brovin makes a bold choice to graciously bow out of the fight, knowing victory's not in the cards. Meanwhile, Team Wellston hops onto the train ride back home. A chit-chat caravan. Arlo, being the inquisitive soul he is, nudges Elaine for insights into Sarah's puzzling behavior. Turns out Sarah's been ghosting her like a bad breakup. Arlo's all like, "You gotta check on your roomie, girl." And guess who's the culprit behind the chaos? John, the enigmatic wild card. Elaine spills the tea on John, Mr. Mysterious, their classmate with a major power deficiency. Sarah even crashed at his crib last night. Arlo's suddenly Mr. Protective, ordering Elaine to keep Sarah in check while he takes on John mano a mano. Meanwhile, John sneezes. Who in the world is thinking of him? He hears the news about the Vigilante's demise. The superhero bites the dust. Cue John's internal alarm bells. The danger's inching closer to Wellston. News time. Those heroic VIPs are dropping like flies. The public's split. Vigilantes suck. Versus, well, they kinda stoked the fire. Cut to Ison being the ultimate morning surprise ninja for Blyke. Post-turf war blues got Blyke looking like yesterday's leftovers. They chat. Blyke slips about Sierra's ambush on Arlo, and Ison's luck meter spikes. Sneaky. With a dash of chaos, John stumbles into Arlo. Oopsie! Arlo's sidekick Gavin flips his lid, but John's got a history test to wing. A fist bump of luck, and John's off to save the test day. Arlo, though, has a mind bubble. John's not exactly trembling before the king like a standard cripple should. Curiosity ignited. Arlo interrogates a nearby student about what a cripple would do if he bumped into the king, and the answer is the same as Arlo's thought. he would be scared shitless. Surprisingly, John doesn't care, and this ticks off Arlo. Sunny vibes surround Sarah as she conquers virtual realms on her phone. Score. But wait, the word perfect is like a time machine, zapping her to the past. She's been top tier her whole life, but it's like being on a roller coaster with no brakes. Sarah's flashback hits, starring a certain John who faced down bullies like a kung fu champ. Somehow, past John dodges the two bullies and knees one of them in the gut. He then charges at the remaining boy and covers his face with a jacket, blinding him. Using this opportunity, John pushes the blinded kid into his charging friend and escapes, running past Sarah. Cripple versus specials? John emerges victorious, cue Sarah's surprise meter shattering. As John sprints away, he tells Sarah, "Thanks for nothing." Still in the past, John's a cake commander. The triple choco cake has a magnetic pull. Sarah wants a piece, John says. No, Duel of determination ensues and kaboom, cake carnage. She's mad. He's unbothered. The crowd's eyes turn saucer-sized, witnessing the perfect warrior falling to a cripple. Sarah lets out her inner volcano, while bystanders scatter like startled pigeons. Tears of frustration flow, and the perfect facade cracks. In the hustle and bustle of today, Sarah's phone buzzes with a message from John. Turns out he's faced a history test fiasco. But fear not, he's got a lunch plan brewing. As she descends the stairs, whispers about her spat with Arlo fill the air. The gossip mill's churning, labeling her antics as absurd. Yet, as she glides through the crowd, silence falls like a royal hush. She strides on like a true queen. Time for a quick jump to John's spot. His place, post-workout, finds him guzzling water when his phone leaps to life. Dad's calling. A quick chat unfolds. A dose of ember caution is shared. John's all nonchalant, assuring his old man he's got it under wraps. Another ring, a goodbye exchange, and John's back to his hydration mission. Whoosh, over to Wellston dorms where Sarah's cozied up, engrossed in John's borrowed book, dedicated to my son, graces the page, launching Sarah into a thought whirlpool. Flip, flip, and more pages dive until book time ends and a gentle toss onto the bed is in order. Fresh air beckons, shoes are adorned, and the exit's the target. But wait, Elaine pops in with an orange juice offer. A rain check, Sarah says as she strolls into the open. Outside musings revolve around the book's tale, sparking thoughts of a curious concept. Protecting the land of the underdogs. It's a head-scratcher for Sarah, who supposes John's dad might have penned it to promote unity among the high and mighty and the downtrodden. Bingo! Sarah cracks the code on why this book's a societal structure shaker, hence the banning brouhaha. Meanwhile, while Sarah's MIA, Elaine sneaks in like a juice ninja, leaving a glass of citrus delight on her desk. And what's that? Elaine's eyes catch the book title, Unordinary. Plot twist. Back to Sarah, who returns to a citrus surprise and an unmistakable hint that Elaine's seen the book by now. Meanwhile, in Elaine's room, she's on a mission, scouring the internet for that elusive book. Turns out, this book is like the origin story of vigilantes, the spark that set it all in motion. As Elaine dives deeper into her quest, she unearths a startling revelation. A slew of vigilantes have been meeting unfortunate fates lately. Cue the jaw drop and laptop slam. She's left reeling but determined, pondering her next move. No way is she letting Sarah dive into this vigilante vortex. Phone in hand, she dials Arlo and boom, connection established. Elaine goes full-on news anchor mode, spilling the beans on the latest developments. Arlo, chill vibes only, tells her to take it easy and keep this nugget of info under wraps. Over on the school's chill spot, Sarah and John are perched on the rooftop. Vibes a bit tense. John's sweating bullets because result cards are lurking around the corner, and Sarah's like, "Relax, dude, it's out of your hands." Now Sarah drops the bomb. She can't just return the book. John's Sherlocking skills activate, deducing that Elaine must have cracked the book's code. Classic Elaine, right? He gives her the no rewind lecture, but Sarah owns up to her slip-up. What now? John queries, flexing his strategic muscles. Sarah's got no exit plan, because she doesn't want to paint a trail right to John. "What's your move then?" asks John, looking like a master strategist. Sarah's response? A shrug. She's as lost as a sock in a dryer, but hold up. John's not done. He wants the lowdown on her take on the book. Sarah ain't holding back, labeling it absurd and clueless. She's itching for some enlightenment, and John comes through with the hero goss from Unordinary. Dude's packing power but still got love for the underdogs. John even admits, "Yeah, I'd join that squad if I had powers." Sarah does the apologetic shuffle, admitting she can't just swing the book back to the library. John's all chill, though. He's practically recited that book like a Shakespearean monologue. Maybe it's time for a little book detox. Meanwhile, Blike's playing the studious guru in the library when Remy swoops in with a tower of books. Blike's got that deer-in-headlights look as he greets the unexpected guest. Remy's back from her hiatus, ready to play catch-up on all the school shenanigans she missed. She's got the rundown on the turf war triumph, plus the juicy scoop on Sierra's showdown with Arlo. Apparently, it's an always a feud situation. Old news, not her drama. Blike switches gears, curious about why she dashed out so suddenly. Remy's reply hits like a thunderbolt. She rushed off to attend her brother's funeral, a heart-wrenching emergency caused by his murder. Meanwhile, John's anxiety mounts in the classroom as the teacher gears up to hand out report cards. Tension gnaws at him, and he pushes his pencil to its limit, memories of past wounds resurfacing. Just as the past threatens to consume him, the pencil snaps, jerking him back to reality. Relief floods John's face as the grades prove better than expected. In the corridors, Arlo's mind churns, fixated on Sarah. He attributes her altered demeanor to a mysterious book. Abruptly, John and Arlo collide once again, causing Arlo's papers to cascade to the floor. Amid shocked onlookers, Arlo's unexpected kindness shines as he assists John, leaving them all astonished. A mischievous grin accompanies Arlo's exit. Arlo's next move? A rendezvous with Eisen. Their conversation swirls around John, a self-proclaimed cripple always in Sarah's orbit. Arlo's suspicions about John trigger an order for Eisen to uncover his hidden truths. Eisen's resistance crumbles under Arlo's authority, the investigation shrouded in secrecy. Amidst it all, John finds himself face-to-face with the unsettling death pool, a grim guessing game for the next superhero demise. Enraged by the callous behavior of Krolik, who torments a fellow student, John steps in, his fist striking like lightning. An unexpected reminiscence tempers his fury, and John makes a swift exit, leaving Krolik in his wake. Across the corridor, Eisen's watchful eyes absorb the scene, his curiosity piqued. Meanwhile, Remy traverses the same corridor, her gaze drawn to the haunting death pool. Tears spill as she gazes upon the names, but with a jolt of electricity, she rids the paper of its pain, leaving only X static untouched. Elaine answers the knock, welcoming Remy's presence. A purpose in her eyes, Remy seeks out Sarah. The room reveals more than just conversation, as Remy senses something peculiar about a teddy bear. Permission granted, Remy discovers a clandestine transmitter nestled within. Sarah's revelation points to a mall encounter, a sinister plot targeting higher tiers. Remy's cautionary words linger in the air. And elsewhere, Eisen takes a seat on the stairs. Recapping the scoop on John's past connections, it's a conclusion that he's just your run-of-the-mill guy. But hold up! A light bulb flickers in his brain. He dives into the pool of info and holds it up against yesterday's twist. Turns out, yesterday flipped the script on everything he knew. Cue Eisen's mission to chat with John. Surprise party. John's face. Eisen spills the tea about a school mag article on low rankers QQ and AMB time. John's down, but hey, his class is like, "Yo, start soon." Eisen's like, "Good one, I don't care." That's it for today. Keep your eyes peeled for part 2 and make sure to like and subscribe for more recaps like this. Last time, Eisen confronted John in order to ask him some prying questions about his past, but John just brushed him off. And guess what? John's in the house, not by choice though. Truth serum mode activated. Eisen asks John about his roots. The dude's from New Boston, a trek away. First real school, Wellston. Switch? John wanted to ditch his helicopter dad and taste freedom, so Wellston it is. But the vibe here? Super not cool, man. Low tiers get the boot. High tiers treat them like leftovers. Survival strategy, stealth mode, keep it on the down low. And why Wellston? It's a smorgasbord of brainy goodness. Oh, but it's not all study sessions. Wellston's got power, like flex your abilities power. Eisen's all ears, wondering why the gamble. And where's Dad's warning? John's all squirm-tastic, collar-grabbing action like, "Yo, let's stick to the point." Eisen's like, "You're chill. Sarah's got your back." He dips, leaving John in his dust, scrolling like a detective. Ison hits up a laptop. Bingo, he finds a pic of Little John in a class snap. Gotcha, the plot thickens. Blake's like, dude, libraries for silence. Pic reveal time. Blake's hooked. Why the digging? Ison's dodging, thanks to a mental memo from Arlo. Quick save, topic flip. Let's remember tasks. Library police busts in. Bye-bye convo. Intel acquired. Ison dials Arlo. John's been spinning a web of lies, even preschooling's a fib. Arlo's shockometer goes off the charts. John's ability truth? That's a question mark now. Rippy pick. Arlo's on the case. Elaine, book hunter supreme. It's a golden text from Arlo while deep in study vibes. She's all smiles. Arlo wants her to drop a note to the big boss about Sarah's book escapades. Orders received. Time for a conversation with Sarah. Cue the principal's pad. The hot seat's warm. Miss Nadia's the star interrogator. Rules set. Sarah's cool with it. Book talk? Yep, Sarah's the owner. The where'd it come from round. Invisible dude. Home sweet home. Bag surprise. Who was there? Sarah hits pause, not spilling. Principal's like, play nice. Miss Nadia adjusts, asking about the book's current status. Sarah played destruction derby with it. Sharing secrets? Nah. Book thoughts? Total nonsense, says Sarah. Miss Nadia's like, phew. Sarah's off the hook. Back in class, John's chillin', then ping! Sarah's text. Meet her ASAP. He dashes, finds Sarah and her luggage. Plot twist. Sarah's on a month-long vacation, expelled, but not before giving Miss Nadia the slip. John's fretting. Should have told Sarah the truth about the book. It's all on him. Sarah's all, chill pill, John. Goodbyes exchanged. Sarah's off the stage. Before we continue, take a moment to answer the question of the day. Who is your favorite antagonist in Manhwa? Comment down below for a chance to be shouted out. John's return to school had Arlo on the edge of his seat, peering through the window like a hawk, eagerly waiting for the news to spread. Picture this, John striding confidently outside the school building, only to have Gavin catch him off guard with a surprise shout. Recognition dawns in John's eyes as he hears Gavin's voice. Trouble's afoot, quick as lightning. John takes off, a mad dash with Gavin hot on his heels, vengeance in his eyes. But guess what? John's not about to let this chase end in defeat. He dances away from Gavin's kick like a pro, pulling off some slick martial arts maneuvers. Whoosh, Gavin sent stumbling, giving John just the opening he needs. In a clever twist, John hurls his notebook like a ninja star, throwing Gavin off his game before sprinting away to safety. A close call though, because Gavin's speedy and he's right on John's tail, making it seem like he's got this in the bag. Well, surprise. Surprise! John's got tricks up his sleeve yet. He puts those potion-inspired heels to the test, springing back into action and sending Gavin's smug grin packing. Oh, and don't forget the doctor. That cheeky doc's got a bet to celebrate, knowing John's not one to shy away from a good brawl, especially after Sarah's suspension. But hey, let's rewind a bit. John's in the infirmary, arm on the mend, and there's that enigmatic smile on the doctor's face. Turns out it's all thanks to John's knack for turning the infirmary into a potion playground. Who knew being a trouble magnet could have its perks? Hold up! Classroom showdown incoming! John's cruising through the corridor when 3 wannabe challengers step up, thinking they can take him on. John's not about to be anyone's punching bag, and with that fearless attitude, he sends them packing with a dose of reality. Enter the doctor, the ultimate peacekeeper, who gives them a stern talking to before making his exit. Now, let's switch gears. Sarah's back home, and it's not exactly a warm welcome. Her mom lays down the law, a real piece of work, even calling Sarah a potential failure. Ouch. She also gets slapped pretty hard. But enough of that negativity, because Sarah's back in her element, laptop open and chatting with none other than John. A call that's a mix of banter and affection with a sprinkle of, already missing me? Homework time rolls around, and Sarah's the real MVP, swooping in with the goods just in time. Chatting turns to teasing, games replace studying, and there's even talk of glass houses. No, not the metaphorical kind. Sarah's wisdom prevails, and it's all in good fun. Cue the next day, and Arlo's got his sights set on John. He's got that I know something's up look, but John's not spilling the beans. With Sarah's text glaring on his phone, Arlo's suspicions simmer. Looks like he's got a new mission. Keep John and Sarah apart. As if John's life wasn't already a roller coaster, some random bullies jump in for a quick beatdown. The infirmary's the next stop, and this time, John's hurting bad. Dr. Darren's there with the tough love, making John face the harsh reality that he needs to find a way out of this mess. Anger flares, plans hatch, but John's phone's got other ideas and decides to bail on him. Frustration mounts, and the 2 students responsible for the mess are on John's hit list. But wait, Dr. Darren's not letting him storm out this time. A stern ultimatum keeps John in check. Begrudgingly back to bed he goes, seething all the way. And just when you think it can't get any more intense, there's a hallway collision that sends John's papers flying like confetti. The crowd's roaring with laughter, but then a surprising ally emerges, Remy. She offers a hand, a gesture of kindness, and John's caught off guard. A glimpse of something he's not used to. There's a twist, though. As his reflexes kick in, he slaps Remy away, leaving Remy shocked. Soon, John realizes his mistake. John's on the ropes, barely dodging Blake's blazing lasers. But wait, Blake's not done. He asks John for a reason not to pummel him. John, owning up, spills the beans about mistaking someone for a look-alike. Remy steps in, nudging Blake to chill, and they peace out. But guess what? John's got thoughts. He's side-eyeing that so-called hero in the book. Now here's the kicker. Not everyone's got a golden ticket, especially Wellston's crew. John's back home, dialing up Sierra on his laptop. Rough day alert. Sierra, ever the champ, shifts gears to gaming, boosting John's spirits. Big smile vibes. Connecting with Sierra does wonders, and our dude's feeling brighter. Meanwhile, Sierra's turf. Her mom's back, and the maid's all ears. Sierra's gaming marathon sparks curiosity, and yep, buffering surprise. Door creaks open, and bam, mom's there. Phone now, she demands, throwing shade. Oh boy, her sister's path lurks nearby. Sierra's notched another point on the disgrace scale. Tough love. Switching gears, John's back from school. A little roughed up. Sarah's MIA on the gaming grid. That's odd. Round and round. Game over, but Sierra's still radio silent. Next day, enter Hauer. Sneak attack mode. John pulls off a move. Blood flows. Mood sour. Rooftop rendezvous with Arlo. John's got guts. No fear in the pecking order. Arlo's puzzled, but John's on his lunch game. In Sierra's realm, there's homework hell. Books drop. Parents decree. Report due. Sarah's in the pit of torture. Cue exhausted sighs. John, oh John. The thoughts orbiting Sierra's mind. A flashback. A project tag team takes a wild twist. John's tardiness brings them together. Project battles commence. Sierra's all serious about that grade. John's like, chill, I got this. Presentation time. And bam. John's version of Hamlet's from a whole other playbook. Sierra's fuming. B- territory. She pieces out. Classroom whispers follow. John swoops in like a knight in not-so-shiny armor. Catching wind of the rumor mill buzzing around Sarah, determined he marches to the library, throwing a lifeline in the form of teamwork for their next challenge. But hold on, Sierra's not having it. Her fury erupts like a volcano, threatening to scorch poor John if he doesn't toe her line. John, undaunted, fires back with a question that slices through the tension. Why does Sarah chase the elusive crown of perfection? Sarah's response, a sizzling, mind your own business. But John's got his heels dug in. He won't play her game and isn't afraid of a shared failure. Sarah, staring at John's unwavering determination, feels like she's hit a brick wall. Fast forward to the library rendezvous. Surprise! John's already in project mode, and the chairs they now occupy might as well have a rivalry fence running between them. They tackle their task, but it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Sarah's critique of John's work feels like a cold shower, yet it's clear they're both paddling in the same boat of linguistic confusion. Together, they trudge on, with John's eyelids turning traitor and Sarah's persistent nudges rousing him from slumber. Hard work's done. Results roll in. Sarah's face falls at the AV, and John, ever the optimist, beams at his A. 3 days later, Sarah struts off, leaving John to celebrate his win, only to hear the echo of her name tangled in unpleasant conversation. John leaps to her defense, even taking a hit for her. Sarah, swooping in like a guardian angel, lands a knockout punch. The heckling henchwoman flees, and an unexpected apology is hurled her way. John's gratitude flows like a river, and Sarah's reputation swells a notch. Cue presentation day. The silence between them as thick as peanut butter. John's nerves ripple like a drum roll, and Sarah can't resist a playful poke. They tag team the presentation, and lo and behold, Sarah bags an A+. Hold the phone. John's got an A in his back pocket too. A celebratory dance? Not so fast, because Sarah's holding onto that looming A grade like a lifebuoy. John insists on revelry. Joyous tussle of perspectives. They trade their library haven for the bustling Waba Boba. Sarah's heart swells, embracing the freedom to celebrate and bask in the moment. But oh dear, the spell breaks with the morning sun and a wake-up call from reality. In the present day, the ever-diligent maid delivers a dose of duty, revealing an impending interview for Sarah's arranged internship. Sarah's time clock is ticking faster than a hummingbird's wings. She dives back into work, and John, in a cathartic burst, pummels a punch bag. Amid the chaos, Sarah shines like a north star in John's sky of uncertainty. He unexpectedly finds serenity, tears welling up in his eyes. The laptop screen reveals Sarah's absence, a whole week having passed since their last conversation. Curiosity and concern stir within John, urging him to ponder her whereabouts and his next steps. Seeking guidance, he dials his father, who inquires about his phone. John explains its unfortunate tumble down a flight of stairs, prompting his father's promise of financial aid for a replacement. The purpose of the call unfolds as John requests another Unordinary copy, met with a regretful denial that ignites his frustration. causing him to end the call abruptly and shut his laptop with a sigh. The following day, Isen's observant gaze lands upon John, unveiling a transformation, Arlo's plan gradually taking shape. John's authentic colors begin to emerge, catching Isen's discerning eye. Meanwhile, Professor Keen engages in a serious discussion with the headmaster within his office, the television broadcasting the grim news of yet another superhero's demise at Ember's hands. Contemplating the perplexing motives behind the ongoing murders, Keen offers his insights, suggesting a cryptic message meant to thwart vigilante resistance. The conversation takes a somber turn as the headmaster reveals the recent murder of Rel, the previous king before Arlo, a shocking connection to the elusive Unordinary. Deep in thought, Keen contemplates the enigmatic power Ember possesses, prompting the headmaster to take proactive measures within the school. A new responsibility emerges as Keen is entrusted with security, a pivotal role ensuring vigilance within the institution's confines. Meanwhile, through a window pane, Isen witnesses a distressing scene of students taunting John. A brave command from John quells their advances, but a physical confrontation ensues as one student attacks him. John's swift reaction results in a broken arm, inciting a group onslaught against him. Amidst the chaos, a flicker of determination blazes in John's eyes. A distant memory resurfaces. A girl, Claire, kneels before him, her name escaping his lips. John's curiosity flares as he questions her role in turning their peers against him. Claire's steadfast reply lands like a thunderclap, painting John as self-centered and destructive. She claims he doesn't deserve his strength, branding him a monster. Shock courses through John. Anger simmers within him, erupting into violence as he lashes out at Claire. The memory wanes, reality flooding back. Now calm, John faces a sudden attack from Elena. His reflexes kick in, a punch meeting her stomach mid-air. Simultaneously, Ruker's beams assail him. John's mind races, devising an escape plan, only to be blindsided by Wenky's ambush. Tanner exploits the opening, sending John crashing to the ground. Elena seizes her chance for revenge, inflicting painful blows. Tensions peak. Yet, as Elena's fist nears, a protective shield materializes around John. Her arm left injured. Shockwaves ripple through the scene. On the horizon, Arlo emerges, striding towards the turmoil. Surprise tinges John's expression as he beholds Arlo's unexpected presence. Tanner faces consequences, ensnared in a barrier by Arlo. Conversation ensues, Arlo demanding respect while shrinking the barrier. Stepping closer, Arlo aids John to his feet, guiding him away from the fracas. Puzzled, Arlo queries why John refrained from fighting back despite possessing the power. Together they retreat to the infirmary, Arlo sitting vigil by John's bedside, immersed in a newspaper authored by Isen, impressed by his work. Meanwhile, John's subconscious twists into a nightmare. Clouds rumble ominously as Adrian's voice pierces the air. John's patience frays, Adrian's words pointing toward Claire's manipulation. Adrian's plea to see the truth falls on deaf ears as John's fists rain down, his anger finding an outlet. Amidst the chaos, memories of Claire and the violence haunt him, jolting John awake. Engulfed by the aftermath of his actions, John sits, grappling with the repercussions of his choices. He spots Arlo by his side, engrossed in a newspaper. Swiftly, he throws a punch at Arlo, a burning question on his lips. Why did Arlo aid John? The motive behind saving John's life becomes his focus. Arlo's retort is candid, a reminder that the world doesn't revolve around John's perceptions, a wake-up call to ponder his actions. Arlo acknowledges John's restraint, but doesn't mince words, proclaiming disdain for those who forget their place. A warning hangs in the air. Next time won't be as forgiving. Arlo exits, leaving John in contemplation, questioning his own actions. As the infirmary door closes, Arlo's phone buzzes. A message reveals Isen tailing him. Down the corridor, Isen mulls over Arlo's unexpected act, connecting dots. Their paths collide as Arlo steps into view. Isen feigns ignorance, Arlo's voice shattering the illusion. The reason for Isen's persistence in spying on John is laid bare. Arlo isn't oblivious to Isen's hunt for a story. A deal unfolds. 2 weeks to gather intel, a promise of the front page. In his sanctum, Isen delves into the depths of research. An unexpected visitor, Blyke, lauds Isen's achievement. A quick glimpse reveals John's image. Blyke's words cut. John's obsession seems futile, suggesting Isen's attention shift. Remy becomes the topic, and a plan to uplift her spirits takes root. Isen dives back into the quest, unearthing an alarming truth: John's expulsion for rampant violence. Shock courses through Isen's veins. A classroom conquered in chaos. Arlo gazes from the rooftop, an observer of their lives. The door creaks, revealing John. A conversation beckons, an apology lingering on John's tongue. Permission sought and granted, they sit. Time's essence is invoked, urging John to hurry. Gratitude surfaces, mingled with remorse for the uncontrolled punch. a gesture made in a haze of confusion. John values Arlo's help in a way that's not often seen. Arlo's response? It wasn't about becoming buddies. He stepped in because 4-on-1 wasn't his idea of fair play. If they faced John individually, it'd be a different story. John, ever self-aware, questions this, seeing himself as a perpetual underdog due to his cripple status. He darts off, but Arlo's not buying it. He knows John's stronger than he lets on, even if John hides it. In another corner of the school, Ison ponders John's expulsion. Rumors paint one picture, but the truth is more about the school losing control. Ison keeps this bombshell from Arlo to avert potential chaos. Yet, fate twists, and Arlo corners Ison, curious about his radio silence. Ison hesitates. Arlo pushes, and a web of secrecy unravels. Meanwhile, John roams halls, lost in thoughts of Arlo's words. A collision repeats, but this time papers scatter. Arlo offers help, tossing John his binder, a practical and subtle gesture. Bonding over clumsiness, they trade a few words, revealing more parallels than expected. Later, at Wawababoba, John shows his caring side, insisting on treating Arlo to a drink despite their differences. A quirky mix-up with the waitress adds humor to their interaction. Amid sips of mango tea and coffee, they delve into personal stories and Sarah's name surfaces. Arlo leaves abruptly, but not before a surprise offer, leaving John intrigued. Shift to Sarah, who grapples with rejection and her father's expectations. Over in the weekend, Ison and Blake's cinematic adventure with Remy takes an amusing twist, with a romantic movie choice causing amusement. Pen shopping shenanigans blend with playful ball tossing, leading to a movie date. A tear-jerking scene unfolds on the screen, prompting an unexpected cascade of emotions from the group. Post-movie, they venture into the mall. Amid the bustling crowd, Blake spots the familiar ability gauge stall and curiously examines the prize details. Remy, intrigued, joins in the exploration, ultimately deciding to take a shot at the game. With determination, Ison persuades a slightly hesitant Remy towards the counter, where she's presented as the game's next contender. The counter attendant holds Remy's hand, awarding her a score of 5, and with a flourish, hands over her well-earned prize. As Remy unwraps the gift, her eyes widen with recognition. The same chip she's encountered before. The attendant's astonishment is palpable, mirroring their own. Doubts lingering, Blake and Ison demand an explanation from the bewildered attendant. Though his words hint at surprise, Ison's keen observation reveals a different story through his racing pulse. Without hesitation, they beckon him to accompany them, but a dramatic twist unfurls as the counter-attendant releases a smoke bomb and bolts. Amidst the haze, the trio springs into action, pursuing the fleeing attendant. As they dash through the mall, confusion erupts. A security guard assumes the worst, mistaking their movements for chaos. The call for backup resonates through the corridors, further complicating their predicament. In the parking area, Ison points out a lone bike, an opportunity beckoning. Remy takes the lead, with Blake offering steadfast support. A surge of electric energy heralds Remy's attack, successfully incapacitating the bike's riders. Yet, an unexpected foe emerges as a security officer intervenes. In a flash, Remy succumbs to her electric state and collapses. As the dust settles, Remy notices the bike's riders have vanished. The security officer seizes the opportunity, capturing her and guiding her to the security room. Within, Ison and Blake are already detained, their situation dire. Determined to resolve the misunderstanding, they appeal to their affiliation with Wellston School, urging the guard to scrutinize the security footage. The guard's attention shifts, and Remy, Ison, and Blake engage in a heart-to-heart conversation. Remy reflects on the power dynamics, pondering what if formidable individuals like Arlo or Sarah took a stand. Ison raises the alarm about the potential danger of unchecked authority, emphasizing the implications of letting those with immense power roam freely. Remy boldly challenges the illusion of freedom, pointing out that Sarah and Arlo's perceived autonomy is overshadowed by their obsessions. She uses Sarah as an example of relentless perfectionism and Arlo's unceasing commitment to order. Their responsibilities have ensnared them, leaving no room to question authority. Ison adds a twist, explaining that a cryptic group eliminates those opposing authorities, cementing their dominance. He unveils his Ember article, a move prompted by Remy's desire for schoolmates to grasp the Authority-Ember connection. The security guard's arrival breaks the tense discussion, granting them clearance after a probing inspection. In Sarah's home, the maid floods her room with books, echoing her father's edict for prompt completion. The specter of disappointing her parents lingers. Tired of the pressure, Sarah defiantly tosses aside the books. Reflecting on John's resilience despite his limitations, She questions her own perseverance. The next day, as the maid inquires about homework, Sarah confesses her reluctance. Frustration drives her to confront her mother directly, challenging the suffocating environment. Unyielding, Sarah's mother scolds her, unaware that Layla fled due to the same oppressive atmosphere. Tensions flare, resulting in a surprising moment where Sarah thwarts her mother's attempt to slap her. In the face of her mother's shock, Sarah's agility is showcased, hinting at a hidden side of her. The encounter leads Sarah to decide on a daring move to return to Wellston. Faced with the possibility of both her daughters fleeing, her mother is left with a critical choice to make. Sarah steps out, a triumphant grin lighting up her face as she revels in her accomplishment. The following day, Blake and Ison huddle around the front page of the newspaper, excitement bubbling in the air. An article catches their eye, a tale of their recent exploits. Ison's expression falters. His own story didn't make the front page. Blake nudges him, offering a reassuring grin. "Hey, we're still making waves," he says. Their moment is interrupted by a summons to the office. The headmaster's stern gaze meets theirs, curiosity piqued by the article. Eagerly, they recount the mall escapade. Gratitude warms the headmaster's voice as he acknowledges their courage, but swiftly he lays down a cautionary note. Their powers, he emphasizes, mustn't be wielded recklessly beyond the school walls. Relieved yet alert, Blake and Ison ponder their newfound wisdom. Meanwhile, a whisper of paranoia touches Remy's thoughts, an unseen observer lurking in the shadows. High above, Arlo perches on the rooftop, contemplating the world below. The door creaks, and a familiar voice breaks through the silence. John stands there, a hint of nostalgia dancing in his eyes. Their exchange is casual, marked by an intriguing question about mango tea. Arlo's curt replies belie his curiosity. John's unyielding presence is a reminder that boundaries have blurred. Conversation shifts, memories resurface. John, bound for class, bids his unexpected companion farewell, but a lingering invitation hangs in the air, an offer of camaraderie beyond their differences. Time passes, and Arlo finds himself at the school gate as agreed. Despite his reservations about John's company, a train ride unfolds, destination unknown. John's ignorance of their path is met with Arlo's confident assurance, a puzzle soon to be solved. Meanwhile, Sarah's journey brings her to an airport, a fleeting connection attempted through her phone. Her thoughts drift to John, his absence palpable. In a surprising twist, Arlo leads John to the heart of Wellston's underground scene, a turf war zone. Disbelief colors John's expression as he protests his unpreparedness for such a confrontation. Arlo's steady voice reassures him. They're not here to brawl. Ventus and Moily emerge, a familiar and unsettling presence. Tensions escalate, old wounds resurface. John's past flashes before him, a trusted alliance crumbling. The clash is swift, leaving John vulnerable and bleeding, held captive by Mealy's dangerous grasp. Arlo watches, a mix of emotions in his eyes. Ventus seizes John's head, compelling him to bow before Arlo. With a sly grin, Arlo jogs John's memory about Ventus and Miley trashing his phone on his orders, a reminder of their allegiance. He taunts John, suggesting that his high social status and John's crippled state don't mesh. A sudden flashback hits John. Claire's deceitful invitation to the fields, a sharp betrayal. Back to the present, Arlo asserts his dominance, asserting John's vulnerability with no one to intervene. A spark ignites in John, anger fueling his recollection of seeking a fresh start, the undeserved suffering he's endured. He counters Arlo's mockery, revealing his fellow students as the true monsters, not him. Emotions flare, and John's frustration becomes his strength. In a breathtaking twist, he deploys his ability, sending them reeling. Ventus and Mealy, their disbelief apparent, watch as John defies their expectations. Unfazed, Arlo grins, having anticipated this revelation. John lunges at Arlo, yet Mealy blocks his advance. A forceful shove sends her sprawling, then Ventus intervenes, conjuring a storm to hurl John away. However, John commands the tempest to ascend. Taking flight, the duo teams up, but John manipulates their joint power against them, defeating them. His focus shifts to Arlo, who confronts John head-on. Arlo's arrogance diminishes as John's newfound abilities challenge his expectations. Arlo fends off John's initial onslaught, deriding his tactics as ineffective, but John elevates the battle, using wind to soar and strike. Arlo braces himself, aware of his impending barrier's usage. A single chance presents itself. Arlo activates the barrier, but John perseveres, cracking it amidst the pain. A counterattack sends Arlo crashing, temporarily weakening him. The fight escalates, John replicating Arlo's powers, confounding him. Arlo's disbelief mounts as John's own barrier shatters his limitations. Vulnerable but determined, Arlo succumbs to John's fierce assault, crashing within the confines of a barrier. Every strike from John is a declaration of power. The culmination arrives, Arlo defeated, momentarily crushed by John's overwhelming force. Elaine arrives, swift and concerned, tending to her wounded peers. Arlo's injuries prompt her concern, yet he waves her off, prioritizing Meili and Ventus. John's departure leaves him enraged, betrayed by both Claire and Arlo, doubting the worth of trust. His bag hits the ground, a resounding thud alerting Sarah. Her voice draws his attention, and Sarah retrieves his fallen bag, a silent gesture of support. She flashes a warm smile at John, who quickly plops himself onto the ground. With a determined stride, she rushes to his side, concern etched across her face. In a hushed tone, she probes for the details of the incident, her eyes fixed on his. John replays the entire episode in his mind, his thoughts racing. He urges Sarah to avert her gaze, admitting he feels utterly pathetic. Sarah extends her helping hand, assisting him to his feet, and guides him indoors. The weight of curiosity lingers as she inquires about what transpired during her absence. Sinking into the couch, John recounts his experiences, his voice soft and vulnerable. Sarah swiftly dials Elaine, who answers the call with surprise at the mention of her name. A request for assistance is met with an affirmative promise from Elaine. As the call concludes, Sarah quizzes Arlo on his ability to manage in her absence. A subtle touch of emotion plays across Arlo's face as he grasps her arm, reminding her of a vow she made. Sarah procures a glass of cold water, brushing it against John's neck, a gentle reminder of his injury. Their unspoken connection lingers as they share the silence. Soon, Elaine arrives, her breath slightly ragged, offering apologies for the delay. Sarah welcomes her in, and apologies are exchanged, including one for reporting to the principal. Sarah reassures Elaine that all is well. Elaine's gaze falls upon John, surprise coloring her expression. A simple question hangs in the air, and John responds matter-of-factly that this is his home. Elaine's reluctant healing begins, a sense of weariness emanating from her. John senses it, recognizing the traces of her previous efforts on someone else. The room holds its breath as Elaine motions for his other arm. John hesitates, asserting his intent to visit the infirmary tomorrow. Undeterred, Elaine persists, her touch unlocking the puzzle of his injuries. John's instinctual reaction is to hush her, a momentary veil of secrecy falling over the scene. Emerging from the room, Sarah's gaze scans the emptiness, noting Elaine's absence. John offers a concise explanation, signaling that something urgent had arisen, leading Elaine to depart. Morning sunlight filters into the school corridor where Arlo walks, contemplation etched upon his features. Meanwhile, a subtle figure lurks, observing Arlo from the shadows. Within the infirmary, Darren and Keen share a light-hearted moment over snacks. Keen teases about apples and doctors, leading Darren to inquire about Keen's habitual office presence. Keen reveals his ongoing investigation, the puzzle pieces still eluding him. The school stands as a bastion of hope amid the current crisis, shrouded in secrecy as dictated by Vaughn, the headmaster. Keen's curiosity shifts to Darren's new flame, but the connection is still in its early stages. Just as they delve into the topic, Arlo slides into the conversation, his face bearing an unspoken story. A direct question about his injuries is met with resistance. Arlo's focused on a discreet patch-up job. The assailant's identity remains shrouded as Arlo clings to his sense of control. A healing potion is offered and accepted, Arlo vanishing into the distance with gratitude. Left in his wake, Darren and Keen ponder the enigma that is Arlo. Suspicions arise with Keen murmuring the name John. However, the weight of Darren's role as a supposed cripple tempers the accusation. Meanwhile, Blyke and Ison engage in a discourse about the latest lecture, but their attention veers off course as whispers of Arlo's infirmary visit reach their ears, rendering Ison stunned. In a different arena, Remy dials up Cecile, determined to unmask the hidden author. A game of verbal chess ensues, with Cecile steadfastly guarding the secret identity. Remy, asserting her queenly status, clashes with Cecile's defiance. The tension escalates when Cecile calls Remy out for her ties to Ison and Blyke, and even invokes the memory of Ray, igniting a blazing rage within Remy. The room becomes a battlefield of words until Remy, worn down, exits, her hope seemingly fading. Arlo strolls down the corridor. A ping from Remy lights up his phone. A meetup request. Ison, on John watch duty, spots a pair bullying John. Defiant, John fires back, stoking their anger. Before fists can fly, Ison swoops in, sending the bullies fleeing. All he has to do is keep John cool until Sarah's return. The park rendezvous with Remy paints a picture. Late, Arlo quips, and Remy pleads time's elusiveness. Mall incident gossip surfaces. Arlo nudges caution on school rep, but Remy's focused on bigger, a chase on Mall Day. Q questions about the rumored Arlo. Ridiculous, he dismisses, though now doubts dance about his own shadow. Remy spills the mall beans. Anonymous penman? Arlo pegs Cecile. High tiers as targets? Bingo. Remy's shockwaves meet Arlo's truth. He's been trailed too. Injury rumors. Confirmed. Tears follow. Arlo pacifies, a resolve forged. His mission: unmask the shadow. An airport landing. John's dad, address in hand. Arlo, part of the school shuffle, tunes out banter. John's familiar collision jars Arlo, but he rolls on. Then a peer pulls John. Tension soars. Arlo intervenes, a fleeting touch masking his disdain. John, to Arlo, a disappointment, wasting potential, tainting Sierra. Ison watches, overwhelmed. Sierra sits, expectant. John's door creaks open, but Dad steps in. Handshakes seal their meeting. Sierra and William chat until John, shock etched on his face, bursts in. Dad's concern unveiled, calls unanswered. John had a sly frown as he pulled his dad aside, craving a private moment with his father. Outside the house, under the open sky, William's voice carried his annoyance, his unanswered calls a testament to their disconnect. The truth spilled out as John revealed he was living with a girl. A candid explanation followed. Sarah's circumstances had left her with no other choice. John dug deeper, inquiring about his dad's chat with Sarah. The question of power, unasked for so long, finally found its voice. Annoyance flared, demanding Sarah's response. Relief swept through John as her lack of seriousness unfurled. The atmosphere lightened, and John's shady act was laid bare. The role of a cripple, a deliberate charade to counteract the whispers of Boston's past. A lifestyle chosen, a comfort in the shadows. The ticking clock loomed, but the time for disclosure felt distant. William challenged this evasion, pushing for the inevitable unveiling. Yet, John's conviction held strong. The present wasn't the place for such revelations. Nighttime cast a peaceful spell, but it didn't last. William, roused from slumber, dismissed the sight of his son buried in books. Cards took precedence, a game calling them to the table. Sierra's admiration for William as a father took root. Together they huddled around the table, the air thick with anticipation. Poker's rules danced in Sarah's mind, the quest for the perfect hand driving each bet. Chips shifted as confidence swelled, the stakes higher than ever. Sarah, armed with a pair that held promise, made her move. John's smile and bold raise caught her off guard, a puzzle she struggled to decipher. As the bets escalated, William joined the fray. Tension snaked its way into Sarah's heart, her nerves betraying her. Folding felt like the only escape. Cards revealed. Victory crowned William. The truth surfaced. John's bluff had been an open secret to his father. Sarah couldn't help but marvel at their cunning, her suspicions outwitted by their masterful ploy. She was on the verge of victory, holding the strongest hand. A glimmer of triumph teased her, but it slipped away. William's encouragement wove a spark of hope into Sarah's heart. "You'll pick this up quickly," he assured her, sharing a poker wisdom that extended beyond the cards. "Your demeanor and how others see you are pivotal." Confidence reigned supreme. As the cards continued to shuffle, a twist of fate favored John, granting him the win. The night's blanket soon wrapped them, lulling them to sleep. Amidst the quiet, Sarah's mind danced around the lesson from William. His words echoed, unraveling the enigma of John's resolute attitude, a poker player's strategy spilling into reality. That's it for today. Keep your eyes peeled for our next recap and make sure to like and subscribe for more recaps like this.